Millions of Americans are extremely concerned because President Trump has threatened a lot of firings, but we know there are going to be mass layoffs in just a handful of hours. That is what is expected as of today. But listen to this.
Because if there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
So if you didn't catch that, the person asked, if there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off? Listen to what President Trump had to say.
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally.
One of the things that you need to keep in mind, and this is what the Republican Party has been saying for quite some time, and this is what President Trump is fighting for, is that yes, he'd love to give every single person from around the world an opportunity to come to the United States and get some of our health care and get some, food and get affordable apartment or whatever it may be, a college education, right? Live the American dream. He says we can't do it. We just can't do it because we have all these other expenses. Whether we're trying to help out another country, whether we're trying to help out lower income households, trying to help out the homeless or veterans, right? That's where we're currently at. Let's keep listening though.
And they want to give them full health care benefits. They want to open the wall again. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They want to open the wall. They haven't taken away boys playing in women's sports. They haven't done that. Men playing in women's sports. It's like they don't change. They lost an election in a landslide, and they don't change.
Okay. So what does that mean moving forward? Well, I want to show you a couple things. Because this is what President Trump is saying, right? He says, Trump threatens a lot of firings as shutdown deadline nears. As of midnight tonight, we are going to have an idea as to how many people are going to be let go. But according to reports, we have about 2.93 million federal workers. That does not include military personnel. 2.9 million federal workers. Look at this though. It says, with just hours to go until a midnight deadline, the deadlock over spending threatens to paralyze many U.S. government operations for the first time in nearly 7 years, causing the suspension of services for Americans and paychecks for federal workers. As many as 750,000 federal workers could be temporarily furloughed even if Trump doesn't proceed with permanent dismissals. According to reports, we are hearing that the Trump administration, again, they're open to the fact that there could be a government shutdown. If there is, all those federal workers that get furloughed, they won't be coming back. There's going to be millions of people that are going to be let go. I want to show you something though. Look at this. This is what's on the table right now. It says, Democrats float possible compromise to avert government shutdown before meeting with Trump. Okay, so this possible compromise, what is it? Is this going to help? Well, look at this. It says right here, ahead of a high-stakes White House meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, Democrats floated a possible compromise on Monday in an effort to head off a government shutdown that could disrupt a wide range of services as soon as Wednesday. According to Democratic sources, they are saying that the Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and other lawmakers are weighing a plan that would extend government funding for 7 to 10 days. Till next week. That's what they're asking for. Well, it doesn't look likely that this is going to happen. What looks likely is we're going to see government employees get laid off. Here's what the Democratic senator, Chuck Schumer, had to say. He says, they want to try to bully us. They are not going to succeed into taking their partisan bill. That's why we are headed into a shutdown. A shutdown is going to hurt the U.S. economy, but I want to show you who's actually going to be shut down. So you can see that the ones in red, those are mostly closed. The economic data collection reports, like the JOLTS report that comes out on Friday, we're not going to get that if the government is shut down. Visitor centers at parks and museums and monuments, those will be shut down. The small business loans are going to be shut down. Okay, That's going to hurt. Partially closed, national parks, monuments, and museums. Now, why is this partially closed? Well, here's the reason why. The people that are deemed essential, those are the ones that will continue to work. So that's going to be park security. It's not going to be the greeter welcoming all the people to the national parks. No, we're not going to see the rangers there cleaning up the parks as far as animals and stuff. Well, we'll see what happens, but that's where we're at. Federal courts, those are going to stay open, so that's good news there. TSA, air traffic control, passport offices, those will stay open as well. The one thing you need to keep in mind, again, the TSA, air traffic control, those are extremely important. Passport offices, again, important. But here's the issue. If you want to go get a passport, okay, if you want to go get a passport and let's say you want to expedite your service, you may not have it, okay? The passport offices are open, but again, are we going to see all the different workers there? No. That's the issue. We're going to experience delays. Here's another one. FHA mortgage program, again, it's open, but we're not going to have as many workers. Mail service, so the United States Postal Service, it's open. Keep in mind that's separately funded, but it's self-funded. But again, there's other issues with that, and according to reports, there could be delays. It's not going to happen immediately, but there will likely be delays. Here's the issue, though, and this is why it's threatening to millions of Americans. Low-income households are going to feel the effects, okay? For instance, SNAP benefits. So if you receive food stamps, that's going to be a huge issue, okay? Because eventually the SNAP program will run out of money, will run out of funding. And if this shutdown actually extends several weeks or months, the funding will dry up, and then the federal government can't give it to the American people. So if you are receiving SNAP benefits, that's the concern, is that you may see your benefits go away eventually. People in WIC, the WIC funding program for like women, infant children, right, for pregnant women, that's another one that once funding's dry, once it dries up, that's it. The funding is not guaranteed to last, right? Another one, Social Security and VA benefits. That's another big one. What we could see is your benefits aren't going to stop, but you could see delays. Okay? You could see delays in the processing of those benefits. That's the issue. But again, all these people I've been seeing so many questions that they're concerned about, well, I work at this facility and am I going to be let go or not? Here's the thing. If you are a federal employee, you've probably been told whether you are deemed essential so that you can come in on Wednesday or not. Others will simply be stuck at home. So you need to keep that in mind. The second thing you need to keep in mind is that it's not just the federal workers that are going to feel the effects. There's more than 4 million government contractors. Those people, they're not guaranteed to get back pay. So if they continue to work, pay their employees, there's no guarantee that they are going to get paid by the federal government once this shutdown is lifted. That's the other problem. So some of these businesses could actually go under as a result of the shutdown. Now, I could seriously talk for hours about the government shutdown, who it's going to impact, how this is going to hurt the U.S. economy. We're going to see billions of dollars in lost economic, the economic impact of this is going to be far-reaching. So just be prepared for that. But again, if you have questions on any of this stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, if the federal government does shut down, which it's expected, so once it shuts down, tomorrow morning, that's likely going to be my first video that I do tomorrow, is explaining who is going to be impacted and what you should be prepared for over the next several days or potentially weeks. So make sure you stick around for that. All you have to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, tick that notification bell so you never miss an update. And and I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.